Hello, my name is Justin Eberhardt, and I'll be the 6th grade math CTL for the 2017-2018 school year. Within this unit, we're going to be discussing rational number foundations. This unit will take 6 class periods. This unit is constructed through the key concepts, related concepts, and global context. The key concept for this unit is change. Within this unit, scholars will be able to analyze how to effectively convert numbers through the forms of fractions, decimals, and percents. Furthermore, scholars will articulate how he or she can effectively create change within their community. This will come later within our GRASP project that I'll discuss as we move on. Next, we have our related concepts. Our related concepts are pattern and justification. Within this, scholars will be able to analyze how patterns affect the world we live in. And justifying why patterns occur, scholars will be able to better articulate how math, i.e. fractions, decimals, and percent, affect the order in which we make everyday life decisions. Which leads us next to our global context. Our global context for the Unit 1 is fairness and development. We want scholars to be able to analyze whether or not things that occur in society are always fair. Logically, rational and irrational numbers may not always have fair outcomes. Through pattern investigations, these outcomes are often justified, and scholars will make their own real-world connections through analyzing if patterns that people choose are the key factors of homelessness. The reason I mention homelessness, because that will be what our GRASP project will be over. Which comes to a statement of inquiry, which is our SOI, which puts our key concepts, our related concepts, and our global context together to form the patterns of life can change when we justify what is fair. Next, we have our inquiry questions. The factual and conceptual questions are our day-to-day questions that are just basic good teaching strategies for CFUs. This is a way to find out if scholars understand what's going on, what's being taught, and to make sure scholars are on track of knowing what vocabulary is used and how it should be used. Last, we have our debatable questions. These are questions that can be asked in math class, but is geared towards everyday life. These are real-world questions that do not have a right or wrong answer. We want scholars to use these to actually see how math is related to the real world. Next, we have our essential understanding. This is broken down into our TEKS, standards, and vocabulary, and knowledge and skills. With our TEKS, these are things that will be STAR tested that we want scholars to know. It's broken down into 2 categories. We have our readiness categories, and the ones that do not have readiness are our supporting categories. We want scholars to know both to get ready for the STAR. The vocabulary is going to be also just as important because we want to build mathematical comprehension when scholars see word problems and understand what's being asked, how to make context clues, and what steps should they take to solve a problem. When we look at our scholars will know and scholars will be skilled at, these are basic things that we want scholars to leave away from the end of the unit to be able to articulate and move forward into their next school years knowing how to do as far as prime factorization, numerator and denominator, things of that sort, which are basic teaching skills that we want them to know. The interdisciplinary connections within this unit will be most evident in the language and literature, individuals and societies, sciences, and technology, though math lends itself to be used in other classes as well. We want to make sure that scholars are taught the same mathematical vocabulary in all classes. This will be key to the scholar's success in math class. Scholars often learn long division in science class, and since we're talking about homelessness, we want scholars to also understand population density within their individuals and societies classes and use technology for our project, and also use language and literature to be able to read and understand what they're talking about. Next, we have our performance task, which is the project Fighting the War on Homelessness, Rational Numbers Project, and Presentation. The performance task for this project is for scholars to analyze the real-world problem of homelessness and to fundamentally use math to create a plan for how to decrease the homeless population within their community. Within this project, I'll understand that different schools have different demographics, so the project lends itself to be tailored to your individual school. The product of this project It's a real letter for scholars to have the option to sending to their local officials, the mayor of the school, your school's location, or to use to send to the U.S. Senate in Austin, Texas. Scholars will also create a poster and present orally the data that they find on the project in your classes. Within this unit, you will see the product. If you have any questions, please email me or call me and let me know, and then I'll be able to give you more clarity on what it's asking. The data that teachers will need to provide is the statistics of the homeless subcategory group of men, women, and children. Teachers will need to provide the rate in which the homeless population has grown, whether increase or decrease. And last, teachers will need to provide an article detailing the causes of homelessness. I will provide these resources on Blackboard throughout the year, but I know different schools are in different cities, so if you choose to go outside the Dallas area, you will be responsible for having that data. If you need any help finding that data, please let me know. Also, another resource that will be helpful is having scholars read articles about homelessness in their ELA classes. This is the rubric that I'll be using for grading. There's two different rubrics. One is for communication. The communication piece will be used during the oral presentations, and then the application to the real world mathematics will be used for the poster boards and the letters to see if they make sense and if they have everything that we're asking for. As far as one picture will be a 1 or 2, and as you can see, a 7 and an 8. 5 pictures will be the highest that they can get, and there's other details that go in besides just the data. Moving into our backwards planning, we have the approaches of learning of communication and thinking. Throughout the unit, scholars will be able to communicate their thought pattern for concluding at an answer. The learning experiences and teaching strategies are the day-to-day way in which I will be teaching the content. If you have any questions about how to do an activity, please reach out and let me know. But this will be our day-to-day format. As you can see at the end, it comes down with a exam. So our formative assessments will be exit tickets, quizzes, and tests. These are a couple strategies for differentiation as far as peer tutoring for scholars that are struggling, and also you have targeted CFUs and vocabulary strategies as well. Within the real world connections, these are great ways to day-to-day teaching scholars where is this math going to be fundamentally used in my day-to-day life, and why is it so useful now, and why do we need to learn it. If you have any questions or need any more resources as far as real world connections, please reach out as well. As we move forward, this is your backwards planning continued. So you have your learning objectives, key points, and assessment summaries. As you can see, the learning objectives is what you want scholars to learn that day. The key points are the key things that you want scholars to take away from your class, knowing that way you know they're successfully prepared and they understood what you taught that day. And last but not least, you have the assessment summary. The assessment summary is my way of having an exit ticket or a quick way for you to collect data from the scholars each day to know if they understood what they were taught and understand what's going on in the class. This will be seen in each day-to-day, so we have 6 lessons. The unit test is also already on Blackboard. As you can see, there's going to be 5 questions per TEK. So if you have any questions about how did I come up with that, just let me know. And then you also have the project, which we already talked about. Last piece that I want you to take away is knowing the reflection. This is something that each teacher should do. That way you can know what you did to format your thought pattern for teaching the kids, preparing, and then during, and then after. This is a great way to help better ourselves as teachers, to make sure we hone in on our skills to be best teachers we can for scholars throughout the year and know what worked best and what didn't work during the time periods. This concludes the Unit 1 preview. If you have any questions, please contact me, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.